أتاني مرة نزق ليسألني بما دنت، فقلت له أنا رجل أحب الله يا أنت، أتسأل كيف منهاجي أما بالحق آمنت، عباد الله إخواني فكن منهم إذا شئت، وكن معنا على حذر من التفريق إن صنت.
نحمده ونستعينه ونعوذ بك من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا، من يهد الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، واشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، واشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. أما بعد، يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم، ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. ثم أما بعد، إن الأصدق الحديث كتاب الله، وخير الحديث هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم، وشر الأمور محدثاتها، وكل محدثة بدعة، وكل بدعة ضلالة، وكل ضلالة في النار. I bear witness there's no one worthy of worship except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is the last and final messenger, and we send our blessings and salutations upon Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And we also thank the Sahaba radiallahu ta'ala ajma'een. Wallahi, my brothers and sisters, fellow teachers, if it wasn't for the Sahaba, me and you wouldn't have enjoyed this religion that we do today. And today we worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we establish salah, and it's one of those people who really worked hard, and because of that today we worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Today I want to talk about some current events. And why I want to speak about current events is because it's an amanah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to the imam, to the da'i, to the talibul ilm, that whenever he has this podium, he allows and fulfills his amanah by talking about the matters what are happening around the world and which affect the Muslims. I know there's many issues in our lives that we should be talking about, the issues that are affecting the school. For example, you have people in the school that at home they wash their hands with urine, and so they think it's okay what they're doing at home and to do that in the school as well. I mean, that's the sharia of your house. If you are washing your faces and your hands and whatever you may say it with urine in your houses, then please just keep it to your house, because it's not the sharia of the school and it's not the sharia of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yesterday some people encountered, instead of using the soap, they encountered urine on their hands, and some of them were really surprised, but not to the surprise of that child, whoever it was, that he put it in there, because for them it's a norm. They do it in the house. They've learned it from the parents. The mum was doing it, the dad's been doing it, the grandfather passed it on to the father and the mother, and now it's come to the children, and they're passing on to other children. But let me tell that person, it's the sunnah of your house. Don't bring that to the school. You do whatever you like in your house. You wash your face, and even if you want to drink it, then drink it. But don't bring it to the school, please, because that's not what we follow in this school. So going on that's one of the current affairs I wanted to tackle. But apart from that, there's many things that have happened around the world. If I was to tell you just from the Muslim countries, and I've got some data here, it says just from the Muslim countries, in the last 20 years or so, there's been 25 million people that have been displaced and that don't have a house or anywhere to go to. And if I was to start, where can I start? Where do I start? I mean, the Muslim Ummah is bleeding. Where do I start if I was to talk about Palestine? If I was to talk about Syria? If I was to talk about Afghanistan? If I was to say Burma? If I was to say Rohingya? If I was to say Pakistan, Egypt, Yemen, the list is on and on and on. And subhanallah, one of the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he says, "Man ra'a minkum falyughayyirhu biyadihi." So whenever you see something which is evil, try to repel it with your hands. فَإِن لَمْ يَسْتَطِعْ فَبِلِسَانِهِ. And if you cannot change it with your hands, then use your tongue to do it. فَإِن لَمْ تَسْتَطِعْ فَبِقَلْبِهِ. And if you cannot change it with your tongue as well, you're that weak, then change it with your heart. وَذَلِكَ عَدْعَفُ الْإِيمَانِ. And this is the lowest form of Iman. So what I want to do today, at least I want to use my tongue. And I want to talk about what is happening around us. And particularly I want to talk about only two countries today, because I don't have time. The time does not allow me to talk about many countries that the Muslims are suffering. I want to speak about Yemen. And I want to tell you that some of you, for you food is not even, it's probably a secondary thing in your lives, and you've got so much food in the house or in your bags that you don't even think about it. But I would encourage all of you, go home, open your computers and read the news. There are children in Yemen that are dying and their skin is touching their bones and there's no flesh to display. And it's only because there is a superpower in the region over there, not to offend anyone by naming those powers, that they do not like some of the leadership, and because of them, they think it's okay to put Yemen through that malnutrition and to bar them with food and basic necessities of life. You know, we sit down over here and we're enjoying our lives, and none of us have fiqh to do whatever we want to do in the life and to change the situation. We can't even, where some of us don't even know what's happening in Yemen, let alone if we start the topic. I mean, people are dying on a daily basis. UNHCR reports that the most vulnerable in the community are the children who don't even have milk. Mothers don't have milk in their chest to feed the children, to feed the child, because she does not have food to eat. And because the region has a lot of rich countries over there, but because they're not in line, the philosophy of Yemen is not in line with those rich countries. So because of that, those rich countries don't want to do anything for Yemen. And then people are dying. And then, let alone, we as students and people who are the leaders, who will become the leaders of the next generation. Some of us don't even know about these issues, but we do know things like Momo on YouTube, which does not even affect anyone's life over here. No one's dying if you don't know what that means. And we binge on the social media, let alone to put $1 away. We're happy to throw our food in the playground and not worry about it and not thank Allah. None of us. And I tell you this, and if you do, food, then I apologize to you. None of you wake up in the morning and say to Allah, oh Allah, I thank you for giving me such a beautiful day. Oh Allah, I thank you to give me sun or a roof on top of me. Oh Allah, I thank you to put food on my table. Maybe we say about the food, but we do not say about the other things that we have. And now I want to talk about another country. I mean, I call it a country because this place wants freedom for themselves, but it's not a country, it's tied with another country. It's Kashmir. And a lot of you probably don't know about this place anyways. This is a place that exists in one-third of this country is in in Pakistan, and the other 2/3 is in India. And I want to read something from one of the papers, and this is amazing. It says that people should not forget the butcher of Gujarat. The butcher of Gujarat, and now he's the butcher of Kashmir. And ironically, this butcher of Kashmir is the Prime Minister of India. Mr. Modi, in 2000, I want to get my facts right, so this is 2004, in Gujarat, when he was a chief minister, apparently, which is allegedly, 50 plus Hindus were blocked in a train and they were burned alive. And we value life. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying if he's from another religion, he does not deserve to live. We value life. So I value, and whoever did that, they are criminals. But they were killed allegedly by the Muslims. Chief Minister of Gujarat, which is Mr. Modi, and he's been prospering a lot in the government, he allowed the people of Gujarat to go on a rampage and kill as many as Muslims you like. Because he told them, he reassured them, there'll be no security forces. So avenge your dead. And whoever you think, and this is recorded in the history, that people were butchered, thousands of Muslims were butchered, women were raped, and people who have disappeared and no one has known anything about these people. And now, these people becomes the butcher of India, and he's the president or prime minister of India, and now he goes around, and since he's come in power, now he's saying that Pakistan is a country which is a neighboring country of India, which is allegedly Pakistan killed 40 soldiers. So it's okay for India to kill the people in Kashmir as well, and at the same time attack Pakistan as well. So Mr. Modi should know the facts that since 95, and I'm not making these facts up, UNHCR reports 70,000 Kashmiris since 95 till today, 70,000 have been dead and killed by armed forces. This is the only country in the world where they have a ratio of 1 soldier to 25 civilians. 1 soldier to 25 civilians, which is even worse than Israel or Palestine. You have 1 soldier and they've given superpowers whatever they like, whatever they can do. And whenever they can do, they can kill people whenever they like. And whenever the media wants to come in and to report about these issues, the media is never allowed. Because the figure, many families, how would you feel? I want to ask you a question. You guys are sitting here, your audiences. How would you feel if your brother, your sister, your mother or your father went to buy milk and they never came back? It's been 21 years you've been waiting for them. There are 700 families which is in the register of UNHCR that they went out to buy something, the necessities of life, and they never returned. It's been 21 years, the family still waits. Let alone to put a closure that my family member died. Let alone to put a closure to that. 700 people from different families just went and they never came back. And then we Muslims have enough time, and then we talk about these issues, and then we've got many of the things that we can't fix. And when I look at you as the leaders of the nation, at people who should be coming to an Ivy school and knowing the atrocities and being the voice and having an opinion, you guys are too busy with the petty issues of your lives. You guys are too busy, and some of you, and as I mentioned, one of you is too busy to bring what happens in your house to this school. And excuse me, I'll be very abrupt. And I said that before as well, I'm going to repeat it. Your grandfather, your father, and your mother, and your house is washing their hands with piss. We don't do that in this school. So don't bring that in the school. So whoever you are, and you want to do that, then you can have a bottle of your own and have a shower in that. And I don't really care if you want to do that. We are a Muslim school, and we have values. And this is something which is najasa for us, which is not pure for us in any way or form. Maybe your grandfather, if it hurts you, it should hurt you, whoever it is. Maybe your grandfather was doing it, your grandmother was doing it, your father was doing it, and your mother is doing it, and you are doing it now by following them. And if some of you are hurt, I want you to be hurt. So maybe you should stand up and tell me, you know what? It's my thing. I did not learn it from anyone. We should man up. You know, we're raising a lot of cowards. And that's why, you know what? When you have cowards, this is what happens. Anyone comes and stamps on your head and you can't stand up for yourself. Why? Because we're just a bunch of cowards. And we can't talk for our rights. This is the problem that me and you were suffering. We don't want to stand up for anything. I just want to stand up and be cranky when my mother takes my gadgets away. That's the only thing I'm going to stand up for. I'm not going to stand up for anything in life. You know what? When we are not going to stand up for people's cry around the world, then no one's going to stand up for you as well. We don't have any respect whatsoever for people that are dying. You know, many khutbahs have been done over here about people in Palestine dying, people in Syria dying, people in Congo, around the world. We're not just talking about Muslims. People have been dying on a daily basis. But all I am worried about is as long as I am happy and I have my devices, I really don't care what's happening around the world. And some of you are not really moved. You're like, you know what, when is he going to finish? I need to go back to my mansion and lie down on my bed and not worry about these petty things. It doesn't affect me. If you have that mentality, then remember when the day it hits you, then it will really hit you hard. Then you'll think about this day. I should have listened and I should have done something about the situation that was happening around me. Really, we should be like, you know, this is why when we don't talk about our rights, these butchers, these people who are given power, they abuse their power. They don't have no one to say anything or raise a finger to them. And that's why, and I said that, I read the hadith for you. If you cannot change it with your hands, then use your tongue. And if you cannot do that, at least have something in your heart about that. At least do the last bit of it. At least cry to Allah and make dua for them, if you cannot speak for them. And you have two powers who want to fight together just for personal gains. And there we have people from Pakistan as well over here, not to offend them, but I want to tell you I'm more Pakistani than you. And saying that, even people of Kashmir that do not want to come with us, they want a freedom of their own. We should realize that, rather than talking about the power that we have and how we're going to disengage with the other country and how we are going to engage with them and how we're going to destroy them. We should talk about the needs of these particular people. You know, I'll give you a fact about your Prime Minister. And I'll talk about Pakistani Prime Minister, my Prime Minister. You know, I'll tell you another thing. in Uyghurs, these are people in China, in Xinjiang region, a reporter from TRT asks Imran Khan, what does he ask? This is a question. He says to Imran Khan that there are Muslims dying in China. What do you have to say about them? This is your Prime Minister, my Prime Minister. You know what he says? I don't know anything about that, if it's happening. I really haven't heard. Even a kid on the street knows what's happening. And then he says, China is a very good friend of mine. And China likes to do things in a private manner. And he says, okay, if you find out that China is doing it, will you talk to China? And then what does Imran Khan says? Yes, I will talk to him, but you know what? We will have a one-to-one conversation. I would not go out in the public and speak like that. Why? Because China is giving you money, and so you don't want to speak up against that? So really, it's not about who you are. It's about we stand for truth and justice. It's not about our Prime Minister. He's our Prime Minister, he's a great man, whatever he is. But people, if you don't have values, and if you do not stand up for the truth and justice, then you're nothing, you're nobody to me. أقول قولي هذا استغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفر الله إنه الغفور الرحيم. اللهم صل وسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. You know, there's many things that are happening around the world as students, as high school students, as the ones who are going to be graduating from here. Maybe you should take the matters in your own hands by running campaigns, by doing things for these people, by writing letters. You know, you guys can write letters to the parliamentarians to tell them the atrocities of the world. How many times you post a biryani on the Facebook and you say how great that it tasted? How many times you've posted a picture of a person who's dead and a butcher's murdered him? How many times you've done that? Maybe 1 or 2 times. How many times you've spoken about social justice issues? You know, we used to even put our fingernails on Instagram. Why? Because they're looking very good. But we cannot talk about people who are dying. And you know what? If we are going to close our eyes, and I want to give you a story. And this is the story, which is an amazing story. A story about 3 bulls. Red bull, the one you get from the supermarket. Blue bull, which is in making and it's going to come out soon. And black bull, which they're still working on the taste, how it will taste like. That's not what I really meant. It's 3 bulls, actual bulls, and they live in a jungle. A lion wants to eat these bulls, and this lion comes to attack them every now and then, but he never gets across these bulls because they are united. It's in unity. One day the lion goes to the red bull and the blue bull, and he says to the red and the blue, you know what, the black one gains a lot of attention. It's not good for you guys. Imagine people from the other side of the jungle come attack you. So maybe, you know what, I will help you. You just close your eyes, and then I will come and take care of the black bull, so you don't get a lot of attention. And this is what they do. The blue bull and the red bull, they close their eyes, and the lion comes and eats the black bull. And the next day, it comes to the red bull, and he says, you know what, that blue bull, have you ever heard about blue color in bull? It doesn't even sound right. Why don't I take care of the blue bull, and then me and you will mate, you know, we're together. We're going to be here forever. And the red bull walks away, and the lion comes and he attacks the blue bull and eats it as well. The 3rd day, the lion walks up to the red bull, and it says, now is your turn. You know what the red bull says? You killed me the day I broke the unity. You killed me the day when I broke the unity. So this is what's happened. When we are not united and we don't talk about others and we only worry about ourselves and we just think, you know what, I am safe. As long as I am safe, you know what, this saga is going to catch up to you as well. You're not going to stand up and speak about it. It will come to you as well. So high school kids that sit over here, don't waste your time in all these games and whatever you play. Use your time. They all know what's happening around the world. They even know what's happening in their community. Be that. اللهم اهدنا فيمن هديت وعافنا فيمن عافيت وتولنا فيمن توليت وبارك لنا فيما أعطيت وقنا واصرف عنا بفضلك شر ما قضيت فإنك تقضي بالحق ولا يقضى إليك فإنه يذل من ولعيت ولا يعز من عاديت تباركت ربنا وتعاليت لا منجى منك إلا إليك لك الحمد على ما قضيت نستغفرك اللهم ونتوب إليك اللهم اغفر لنا وللمؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات ومنهم الأحياء والأموات اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين اللهم انصر العساكر المسلمين في فلسطين يا رب العالمين وفي كشمير يا رب العالمين وفي شيشان يا رب العالمين وفي أفغانستان يا رب العالمين وكل مكان يا رب العالمين اللهم ثبت قلوبنا اللهم ثبت أقدامنا يا مقلب القلوب ثبت قلوبنا على دينك وثبت أقدامنا على دينك يا رب العالمين ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار أقيم السلام